Hello everybody, welcome back to another video from Breathtaking Reviews. Today I'll be taking you guys on a tutorial on how to make a budget gaming PC. So heads up, I've already planned out the different parts and accessories I'm gonna buy. You don't have to buy the exact same things as mine, but the instructions are still the same. And also, you may need to read your user manual for any of the parts that are not the same as mine. Now we'll dive straight into making the gaming PC. Now I'm on Google and I'm gonna search up the CPU first. Now the CPU I'm gonna buy is the Intel Core i7-12700 EVGA1700 product. Now this one, it is not the best performance one. The best is the Intel Core i9 12th generation. Now you can just roam around here and click the website that you want to buy it from. Now open another new tab, and this time it's going to be the CPU cooler. Now the one I'm gonna buy is the EVGA CLC280 RGB LED 280mm liquid CPU cooler. So I pressed enter and here's what it came up with. Now you can look around over here too and see which website you want to buy it from. My suggestion would be buying it from the BPC Tech one. And yeah, just look around here. It has RGB, that's the part where it changes color. And it is for $79. Now we can open up another new tab, and this time we're going to be buying the motherboard. Now for the motherboard, you can either buy MATX or a ATX one. The one I'm going to be buying is the Asus TUF Gaming B660M-Plus LGA 1700 D4 Wi-Fi MATX motherboard. Now I press enter and it came up with a whole lot of different areas where I can buy this motherboard. Well, different websites I should say, where I can buy this motherboard. I chose the M-Wave one because it was a good value price to me, but you don't have to buy it from mwave.com, you can buy it from somewhere else. Now opening up another new tab, and this time I'm gonna be buying the RAM. It's gonna be the Corsair 32GB brackets 2x16GB CMK32GX4M2E3200C16 Vegeance LPX 3200 MHz DDR4 RAM. Now I press enter and here's the different options where I can buy this RAM from. I personally like to buy this one from Umart because it's such a valuable price. Now open another new tab, and this time we're gonna be buying the SSD. So the one I wrote down is the Gigabyte 1TB M.2 NVMe Generation 4 SSD. Now press enter, and this time it will come up with a whole bunch of places where you can buy this specific product. I personally like to buy this one from Umart because right now there's a hot deal. Well, it's gonna end in a few days. It's $149, and personally I think that's quite a good deal. I open another new tab, and this time we'll be buying a case. Now you can choose whatever case you want to buy, but make sure it fits your motherboard type. This one is gonna be the Lianli Lancool II Mesh TG RGB Mid Tower E-ATX USB-C, and this color is Snow White. Now click enter, and it should come up with another whole bunch of places where you can buy this case. You can scroll down and look around. I like to buy this again at Umart because it has hot deal again. It will end in a few days too. And this one I'm right now is black, but I'm gonna be choosing the Snow White color. Now open another new tab, and this time we're going to be buying the PSU. The PSU I'm going to be buying is the Asus 750W TUF Gaming 80 plus bronze power supply. Hit enter, and it should come up with another whole bunch of places where you can buy this PSU. I'd like to buy this one Umart again because it has discount again. And again, it will end in a few days, so yeah. Now again, open the last tab. This time we're going to be buying the OS system, either a key or a disk. So after you search that up, it should come up with some areas where you can buy it. There's different areas where you can buy it. You can buy it very expensive or cheap, depends on you. And the one I'm going to be doing is the Windows 10 Home Edition, not professional. Well, if you do want to buy a professional version, then go ahead with that one, or education version is fine too. Now that my parts have arrived from delivery, I'm gonna unbox each of them one by one. So the first one is the Asus TUF Gaming motherboard. So let me open it up. Once you've opened it up, you should see your motherboard's user manual or how to build steps. Here's the user guide. Now the next thing is the Wi-Fi. These include the antennas and the different cords that you need to plug in into your motherboard. Now it's time for the exciting bit, the real motherboard, which is gonna mostly power your whole entire desktop computer. Be careful when you're trying to get it out, because you don't want to break any single part of the motherboard. This motherboard contains 4 areas for the random access memory, a part where the CPU can go, and 2 slots for the GPUs. Here's where you're gonna place your CPU. Here's a sneak peek of what it looks like inside. I'm gonna let you guys see the whole entire thing out of the package later. Here's an extra cable that was also given from the box. Is the disc, and remember to keep this very safe because it has application inside which you'll need to download into your gaming PC. Here's the certificate of reliability from TUF Gaming, and on the back is the TUF Gaming stickers which will decorate your gaming PC. Next is the different screws which were inside the motherboard given to you. Following on is some pads which is optional to use. Next we'll be unboxing the Asus TUF Gaming PSG. Just to warn, it is quite heavy, so be careful when handling it. Here's what it looks like on this side, and it's the TUF Gaming logo, and it's the exact same here. Yeah. Here's what it looks like underneath the box. Let me spin it around. Yeah, so here it says it's military grade certification, it's protective PCB coating, axle, tech fan with dual ball fan bearing, and 6-year warranty. Now let me spin it around and we can start opening up this box and see the big power supply. Once you open it up, you'll see there's a sticker at the top. It's very good actually. I like the stickers. Here's the certificate of reliability, like the Tough Gaming motherboard had. Here's the user manual. If you buy a different power supply unit, then look at that menu because you will need it. Inside the user manual, it basically just says about all the different ports and what you cannot do with it and the different ports you can use with the power supply. Here's the cord for the power supply. This cord is which you need to plug into the wall so the power supply can convert the electricity. But yeah, I forgot to say that there's 2 different types of cords for the power supply, depending on where you live. Here are the different cords which you'll need to plug into your motherboard and other RGB lightings and stuff. All these cords I'm holding, it all connects to the power supply. And here's the power supply. It's actually quite big and it's covered with this plastic bag. Well, in a plastic bag. This power supply looks clean and in good quality and good condition. Here's where you'll need to plug your power supply into the wall and into this power supply. There's a big fan on top of the power supply too. Here's a silver velcro which you'll need to tie up your different cords. Here are some black things which you can use to tie up your cords. Now let's move on into the Aorus Gigabyte NVMe Gen 4 SSD. Box is sleek looking and very clean. Now the bottom over here, it says the different details and warnings. Here are some other looks of the box. Now I'm going to slide out the SSD from the package. And open it up. Once you've opened it up, you should see this SSD drive. This Gigabyte Aorus SSD drive is made out of copper, which will let the temperature decrease. Here's what it looks like outside of the box. It's a little heavy, but overall it seems to be in very good condition and quality. Open the holder of the SSD and you should see a gigabyte user manual and limited warranty sheet. Now I'm going to move on to unboxing the Corsair Vegeance LPX DDR4 RAM. Here's what it looks like at the back. You can see a bit of the RAM through the plastic. Now I'm just going to figure out how to open it. Alright, here we go. Now I'll open it up and get those two RAMs out. When you get it out, it should look like this, clean and tidy in a plastic box. Here's how it looks like at the back and back to the front. Now I'm going to start unboxing the Intel Core i7 12th generation CPU. Here's some good looks of it. Here's what it looks like at the back. And here's what it looks like on the other side. Now I'm going to try to open the CPU up. Slide the cardboard box slowly out. You don't want to damage any parts of the fan or the CPU. Here's the user manual, the Intel processor. That sticker at the front is which you can peel off to stick on your gaming PC. Now try opening it up. So the first part I'm going to open up is the CPU. It's actually harder than you think to open this thing up. Now that I've opened it up, there's the fan. This fan looks very cool. You don't have to use it if you have another fan cooler for the CPU. I do quite like this design. It looks very cool. Now here's the CPU. Now carefully get it out of the box because it's one of the precious things inside your gaming PC. Be aware it should be in good condition because if this doesn't work then your gaming PC won't start up. Now I'm going to move on to unboxing the EVGA closed loop CPU cooler. This massive cooler can cool down both AMD and Intel CPUs. Here's some looks of it, and here's the picture of what the whole thing looks like. Now carefully slide the whole entire other cardboard box out of this black sleeve. It basically looks the same as the black sleeve, but instead this is the real one. Now open this massive CPU cooler up, and once you open it up, you should see a EVGA closed loop CPU cooler user manual. Well, a installation guide. Here's what it looks like after it's fully opened. Now the one I took out right now is the AMD package installation pieces. They use this AMD package if you're using an AMD CPU. Here are the different Intel parts which I'll need, or you'll need, to be able to use this CPU cooler. Now carefully slide this foam box, which has the CPU cooler in it, out. Now carefully take the first part of the CPU cooler out. Here's what it looks like, and there's already applied thermal paste on this thing. Now carefully pull this whole entire thing out. Warning, it is quite hard to get out. You'll need to put a bit of strength onto this thing. Once you've taken it out, it should look like this. Now the parts I'm pointing to now is the RGB lighting part. Slowly slide the fan out of its black sleeve, and it should look nice and clean and shiny. Moving on, I'm going to unbox the Lianli Cool III Mesh C case. This is the case I'm going to be using for my gaming PC build. Yours would be in a cardboard box when delivered. Just take it out of the cardboard box and place it on the table. Now I'm just showing you guys some good looks of how it looks inside and how it looks outside. I do like the texture and the different material they used. Here what it looks like underneath. There's 3 cases there if you need to put 3 hard disks extra. Simply open it up and pull it out. One of these should have your case's different screw things. They would hide it somewhere. Now here's what it looks like, and just open it up simply. Just slide it out the cardboard box and you are free to use them. there's where the power supply will sit. I'm gonna open up this glass panel and let you see what's inside. There's the RGB LED fans. And here's where your MATX or ATX motherboard is gonna sit. Slowly close the glass panel and then the bottom part. Here's what it looks like on the other side. You can open the bottom part here too. And here's where you put your power supply, just like the other side, and your different cords would be compact here. Again, you can open up this glass panel and then unscrew these different parts here, so you can put your cords inside, so it looks neat and clean. Close the glass panel back up again and the bottom part up again. Here are some looks of it. Now we can start building our gaming PC. Here are the overview of the different parts which we need for the gaming PC. If however you're missing one of the parts, then I recommend you to go and buy it before starting to build. If you don't buy it, then the gaming PC won't work. Step 1 on the motherboard, open up the lever on the side for the CPU. Place the CPU down, then put the cap down, place the lever down, slowly, and you need to put a bit of strength on it. Click it in and the top cap should come off. Take it off. Step 2 is the installation of the 2 RAMs. Open up 2 and 4. For the CPU part and this RAM part, you both need to look at your manual from the motherboard. Slowly place the RAM in. You'll need to put a bit of force in. It has to be even aligned, and then once you put a lot of strength in, it should click in. Follow the exact same steps for the next RAM. Once it's done, we can move on. Step 3, you should unscrew the protective panel for the SSD. Once it's done, we can start placing in the SSD. While putting it in, you need to be careful. You need to put it on a diagonal angle and slowly plug it in. Afterwards, you need to screw it on. Step 4. We'll need to put the power supply in place. Warning, you'll need to put the power supply the way where the fan is. Now align the power supply with the holes from the case. And screw in the screws. Next part, you'll need to sort your power supply cords so it can connect to the motherboard. Squish through the power supply cords which will be needed for the motherboard. Cords, you'll need to just put it next to the power supply for future usage if you'll need to upgrade the gaming PC. Step 5, you'll need to place the motherboard in and screw it in. Check if the screw is the right one and don't screw it too tightly in. Here, plug the main electricity in to the motherboard. That one has to be plugged in or the CPU won't work. Bring in another cable and plug in the audio one. Plug in this other cable in. You should also look at your own motherboard user manual and power supply user manual to know where to put different cords onto your own motherboard. Next, place in the EVGA ring on the back of the Intel CPU. Some cases have a cover for the back here. Just unscrew that. Make sure one hand is holding the back, go from the other side of the motherboard, and then screw it in. Don't worry if it feels loose, because it will naturally tighten after you finish. Make sure you have plugged in the other CPU cable underneath this fan on the left hand corner. Then screw the EVGA fan in place. Hold the fan tightly before screwing it all in. Now down to the exciting bit. This is the first startup. When you first start up it should display on the screen something. Yep, there's the company who made the BIOS and the motherboard. Simply click F1 or F2 to go into the BIOS. This is where you can see all the different fans and if they are plugged in properly and the different details. I have one problem though. I plugged the CPU fan into the wrong fan port. So I'll need to go back into the case and fix that. So enable the X.M.P. Once you click the boot priority, you should press OK and you should come back to the page where there's different errors. By the way, I'm booting from a bootable drive that I've already installed Windows 10 onto it. You'll need to fix these problems before you can download Windows 11 or 10. After you have resolved some problems, then you should successfully reboot it again and it should come up with this Activate Windows page. Click I don't have a product key if you don't have one. If you do have one, then place one in or type one in. Click Windows 10 Home if that's what you want, and then accept the license terms. Then click Next. Then which type of installation do you want? You can either upgrade, install Windows and keep file setting and application, or custom install Windows only. The custom one means it just only installs Windows, fresh and new. If it's a brand new gaming PC, I would recommend the custom one. The next page is where you choose which drive you want the Windows in the installation to be on. After all this should be your new home page. Heads up, I've already edited some of this part, so yours, when it starts up, it will look a bit different than mine. However, if your screen does not look like the screen I have now, then you'll need to troubleshoot. Try installing Windows again. Also remember to upgrade it to Windows 11. The next part is where we need to download the different BIOS, updates, and things to keep our gaming PC up to date and the latest firmware. Search ASUS BIOS download and click on the first link that appears. Then type in the model name, whichever motherboard you have. It will be on different companies. The one I have is the ASUS one, so I just type in the ASUS Tough Gaming motherboard. Double check it's the right one, and then fill in the bottom parts. click on Driver and Unity. Then click on BIOS and Firmware. Then scroll down and you should see the different updates which you need to download to keep your gaming PC up to date. Just simply click that download button and it should download a file in your downloads folder, including the Intel Me you need to download. Then go to Drivers and Tools, change it to Windows 11 and download all of these. This process might take a long time, but it will be worth it. Afterwards, all of that, now I'm going to show you the different applications which will be downloaded from the disk which the box had. This first one is AI Suite 3. It shows live updates about your CPU and your temperature and fan control. You can use the software to control the fan speed too. The following application is Cupid. This one shows every single detail of your gaming PC. The next one is Aura Creator. This one allows you to control the LED lights. This final application is Armory Crate. This one lets you control the LED too, the fan speed and loads more. Here are some examples of what it can do. And yeah, we're finished. I hope you liked this tutorial on making a gaming PC. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video, and have a good one.